JB. And really, I liked what I saw at Mark. He's got technically extremely sound. He plays in the front row where they combine with the other front row. And it was, I have to tell this little story. We're at KL Exchange, and I just finished saying to Chris and Mark, I'm not too sure how much Mark's doing around the paddock. You know, we're concerned that his work rate might not be there. And as I finished saying the word there, Mark receives the ball, crashes down the field 30 metres. About 30 seconds later, makes 2 amazing tackles, and another 30 seconds later receives the ball and makes another 40 metres down the field. Yeah, I think Mark's doing okay. and that really epitomised Mark. He wasn't in there scoring tries, but he's one of those players that does all that work so that the tries can be scored. And he's the engine room of the team, and he showed that. So he had a great season, Mark. Look forward to next year. Andrew's not here, so it's a shame. Andrew also, like Jason, learned how to catch the ball and run fast, and that was a big help and made a big difference, and I look forward to him making an even bigger difference next year. David Moore. David, how do I put this? He grew up from a puppy to a cross between a Rottweiler and a Doberman. Because he was a puppy last year. Again, I saw the potential. He deserved to be in varsity. This year, he really deserved to be in varsity. He's a big, tough guy. And I'm glad he was on our side. And he is going to be one of the leaders next year. I can see that. As are these guys here. Because really, these guys are the basis of next year's JIS team. So, responsibilities on your shoulders, guys, but no pressure. And finally, Ben. Ben had an outstanding season. As simple as that. He started 3 years ago. He started as a forward, so the back row player, which are usually in 15s rugby, the tallest guys on the team. They're usually 6'5", 6'4", 6'5", 110 kilos. And Ben was one of our back row players because he was good enough to be there, but I didn't really know where to put him. Last year he went into the backs and was on the wing most of the time. This year he played a dual role of fullback wing, and he was by far the best fullback wing of any of the teams that we played. He had just a marvellous season, and you're just going to get better than that. So well done. Okay, next group: Sean, Golightly, Tomo, Kyle, Dan, and Igor. Particular order, really. We'll start with the Mighty Mouse. Tomo. Step forward, Tomo. Step forward. Dan, stand beside him. Okay. Dripping wet, fully clothed, Tomo weighs in at 52 kilos. You don't have to stay standing. But I think most of that 52 kilos is hard. And I mean that. Tomo is fearless. He will not balk at a tackle. He will not balk at the biggest guy in our team. And you can see there's a few there. Or anyone from any other team. His tackling is outstanding. His support is outstanding. He's been a great, nasty member. So well done on a great season. So that could mean that Igor is Croatia's #1 rugby player. Now, talking about development of players throughout the season, again, Igor never played before, came into the team and really deserved to be there. Now, he cemented his place, like Tomo, with really intense tackling, but also Igor was the sort of player that coaches love. He would, and I mean that because if he had something wrong or he wanted to know about something, he'd tell him and he'd put it into practice the very next time. And that makes coaching so much easier. It also makes being part of a team so much easier and getting a team to work together. And I was really impressed with that aspect of your play. So well done. Great season. Kyle, the likable rogue of the team. Quick to smile, but quick to sort of cause a little bit of, I don't know, light-hearted fun as well. Really valuable to have on the team. Kyle has the potential to go on. He's got that ability to actually go on and play at a high level, I believe. I'm fingers crossed that he can get his legs sorted. We came into this season, we came into the soccer season prior to this one, going, oh yeah, you know, I'm going to be really careful with my legs because he had his leg sort of munched up last year. And I was going, please get through the soccer season so you can come and play rugby if you're allowed. And thankfully he got through the rugby season as well. He's a talented rugby player, footballer, whatever you want to call it. He has that extra sense, it's called game sense, that some people have, some people develop, and some people never have. And that's a really important thing to have as a player in any sports team. Great season, Kyle. But the other thing that I've been impressed about this young man is that he has matured in his attitude towards everything. And I've been, it's one of the bonuses of being a coach is that you get to see these developments in young men and women. And it's been a pleasure to have coached them, but also witnessed this growth, this personal growth that I've seen. So congratulations on that, man. Sean Golightly. Woo! Every time, like I've mentioned this before about teams needing a bit of mongrels. And I mean that in a positive way. It's got a really positive connotation in rugby. It was Dave Beckstrom for the last 2 years, and certainly Sean stepped up there. He's not so much mongrel, more of the team's hard man. He plays ice hockey. I guess that's something that all Canadians, they're born with a hockey stick in their hand. Kiwis are born with a rugby ball in their arm. Sean was sort of also an unofficial sort of extra co-captain because he did chip in some really good ideas, some thought-provoking comments at times, and talked about work rate before. Sean has got an outstanding work rate. He would play and keep playing if his leg was falling off. He never gave up, he never stopped. Every game he would have been happy to not be subbed. Because he had such a big heart and such a big drive and such a big work rate. Impressive, Sean, well done. Okay, final crew of graphics. Curtis, Jabo, Keith, and Sean. Now, I affectionately refer to these four as the elder statesmen of the team. I don't know if I should have entrusted you with that sort of label or not. But these four, by themselves, individually, but also collectively, were the leaders of the team, leaders of the IASIS squad, which was a big squad of 22 this year, and never let me down. Never ever let me down. They never ever let the boys down either. They never let Dave down, and never let the parents down and Mark down, which was good too. very impressed with. So that's it. Go through each of you. Curtis has had an outstanding rugby career. He is a brilliant team player. He is hungry to keep learning, to keep getting better, to do his best. And he shows that. He shows that in the passion that he takes into each game. Technically, very, very sound. You saw some of those shots where he was receiving the ball. I don't know how many feet in the air it would be, but it's a long way up. And he did that time and time and time again. And it's been a real pleasure to have coached you. So well done. Keith Turner, full tournament. Congratulations. Well done. Where to put Keith. You know, I didn't know if he was a centre or he was probably too slow for a wing. But Keith had an outstanding season as well. Keith got better and better and better. He had the responsibility, he was co-captain, he had the responsibility of kicking, which in teams is really, really important. And to try and drop kick an odd shaped ball on the ground and make it go up in the air where you want to do is quite a feat in itself. Now Keith worked really hard right from the start of the season, and became very proficient at it. You know, the Minnie Wilkinson almost. And but apart from that, I guess the thing that triggered things for me, and I thought this is going to be a special season, is we got rained off one of our practices really early on, first week or second week into the second or third week of the season. And thunder and lightning, so we went into the large gym that was available. And we just did some fitness drills. And it was Keith right then that said, come on guys, we're going to go hard at this. Let's do one more. Let's do one more. Let's do one more. And these guys were dying. It was only the second weekend. I didn't want to put them off too much straight away. And I was really impressed with that, Keith. You took that attitude with you right throughout the season. So well done, fantastic season. He is what you see. You don't know what that means. Jabo watched a lot of TV between last season and this season. And why he watched a lot of TV is there was the World Cup rugby on. And his position in 15-a-side would be a loosey, an open side flanker they call it, or a side row. And their job is to get around the paddock and disrupt play as much as possible and get the ball and give it back to our team. And it paid off, Jabo. It paid off big time. All tournament, made all tournament, and he looks like a veteran loose forward player. He knows what he's doing. He knows where to go. He knows how to get the ball and what to do with it. Should have been penalised more often. But he wasn't, because his technique became so good. Again, like Sean Golightly, highest work rate, or high work rate in the team everywhere. Would have played again with his arm or leg falling off. And sometimes it seemed like it was. He'd come off the paddock absolutely nothing left, and that's the way he should have been, because that's what his position demanded. And it's been a real pleasure. And finally, here Captain. Proud dad over here. Proud mum up there on video. And rightly so. They have every right, as do all the parents of these lads, have the right to be very proud. I am extremely proud of them. Sean was a different type of leader. He's a different type of captain than some. I changed my coaching style this year on purpose. One, because I would have probably had a mental breakdown by the time I had my assessment. I've aged about 20 years, but I wanted to back off and put the responsibility back onto the team, and the responsibility onto the vice captains and the captain. And Sean accepted that in a manner that I thought was, I used the word professional, I'll come back to that word later. He was very professional, he was very intelligent in his approach. He is an extremely good rugby coach. I know that he'll be looking to get into a university team when he goes back to Australia for university next year. And he will get into the university team, and he will be a very integral part of that team. He has the ability also to go further. He plays an intelligent game, he plays a very physical game, he leads by example, he says the right things, and he does the right things. And to me, that's a perfect captain. So well done, Sean. Before I get to the last two thank yous and presentations, so I want to add my thanks, and I know it comes from the hearts of these guys as well, from the whole varsity squad, is our thanks to the parents. You were an outstanding bunch of people this year. You really were, all of you. And I said I'd come back to the word professional. It felt like our squad, our team, was a professional unit. And I think you really helped that. We talked about looking after each other mentally, and you helped with that. You helped look after us physically by providing fruit and sports drinks and water and so on to just about every practice and after every game. And you looked after these guys at home on a personal level, and they brought that back to the squad every time. And you know, I'm almost at a loss for words. Really, you guys were fantastic. So thank you very much. I'm glad Dave's already up there, so I'd like Ariana to come up. Ariana. Now, Ariana was one of our team of three for our managers, but she was more than a manager this year. I'll put some words down here. More than just a manager. She was an integral part of our team. She would have been out here playing if she could. I'm sure she would have. And she was in her heart and her spirit every time we played. She was there with us, scoring those tries, making those tackles, and so on. You can see, weren't you? Yeah. She was also a troubleshooter for the team, solving things, problems, and so on. And simply just a full-time lovely human being. It was wonderful to have you around and have you come to ISS. Right. That's right. Right, final one. Dave loves this. Dave loves this as much as early short. This has been short. One sheet of paper. I'm not sure, I put down here, I'm not sure if Dave's been demoted or promoted from Mr. Sponge, water boy, to assistant coach. The stress levels, I think, are a little bit different. Yeah? But Dave was my right-hand man and my left-hand man and all those other bits in between. don't think, I know our success this year was a big part to do with Dave. He tempered, not my temper so much, but my enthusiasm when I used to run away a bit, or temper. And really it's been an honour to work with you at that level this year. It's nothing. Okay, very good. Not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Now, why I chose that one is, I rang my wife after we played the final over in Manila. And she said, oh, how did you go? And I said, oh, we went down in the final. She said, did you? Oh, that seems incredible, you know, winning 5 in a row. Oh, that's okay. You've had an outstanding season. Think of all the wonderful things that you've accomplished. So that was in the same breath. And really, that's right, guys. I think it wasn't just the one game. And I think it was a curse. We're sitting out ready to have a shower before the meal at Isis, and said, you know, you knew you were going to win and you knew you were going to lose. You didn't play sport. And it's more than that. It's more than just the winning. It's all those other bits that you pick up along the way. It's being part of a team. And you guys can go away and take that with you, that you were part of an awesome team that I was very proud of. So well done.
As assistant coach of Waterboy, I get a chance to say something about Dicko. Dicko's an outstanding coach, probably in JIS. I'm sure Ray would agree that Dicko's got more enthusiasm and more will to win, and probably the best coach we had in all of JIS. So I think it's not even close to think that they don't do well because of me. It's because of Dicko that they did really well this year. And the boys responded to him very well, and I think we should all give a appreciation. The last thing I wanted to say, also for the girls in touch and the boys with rugby, is I feel that JIS now has a great reputation in rugby, and next year when ISS, I'm sure we'll keep the tradition going, and the legacy of going forward of JIS being a great rugby school, I hope will continue. So that's a great thing for us.
I would just like to say a little something as well. I decided to write this out because, as most of you already know, I'm pretty difficult at public speaking. I don't want everyone who is here is someone I know. Those frequent anti-climbing pauses in the middle of my attempts at an emotional speech, like Diego can tell you. As Diego has spoken a little about each of us, I'd like to speak a little about him. He moved here when I came into his team in the 10th grade, and immediately all of us in the team settled in and learned about the game that is rugby under his guidance. He fashioned us from hopefuls into champions. The next year we were not so lucky. While playing some good rugby, we found ourselves at 5th place. And then there was this year. In all my years of playing sport, I've never found myself experiencing such camaraderie and motivation that this year's team, the rugby team, played with. Everyone became close-knit. All of us shared the same moments of pain and glory. The sport of rugby and the characters of our team were partially responsible for that. The other portion lies duly to the efforts of the man on my right. He molded us into a team that prayed for training, for the tackling drills, the running, for the times that he would praise us, and even for the times that he would get angry, because we knew that we deserved it at the time and could do better. Under his coaching, we would find it in ourselves to suck it in and redeem ourselves. No practice was ever boring. Dicko always made sure that we would be having a good time as we would improve our skills. But Dicko has also taught others and me lessons off the field as well. He has taught us the values of discipline, of sacrifice, but also to be able to move on after something that is not going quite your way. The image that will remain with me of Dicko is one with him smiling as he hurriedly walked from one place to another, setting up cones. Focused, but with a no worries approach to it all. Dicko, you've been a great coach, but also a great man first of all. Thanks very much.
You have to open it now.
This is very strange. Can you see what this is?
Actually, I might get this woven into a beanie or something.
And here's just cards for Mr. Maligan for all his help during the season. And
just before we finish, all the rest of the team, excluding the seniors, we got gifts for you, just for the training, all the hard work you put in, and I don't think we'd have been able to, well, we wouldn't have been able to do this without you.
You're not going to sing now or anything, are you?
Dave, you have to open yours. Dave Maligan. Dave, you have to stay there and open it.
And then Mr. Gray's got one final. Oh. One more thing before you get started after Mr. Maligan.
Wait.
one more thing. On behalf of the team, I'd like to thank Mr. Gray for coming to IASIS, for coming to the exchange, and yelling at us from the sidelines and stuff like that, and supporting us all throughout CD.
Honestly, you'll be over in 5 minutes, if that. Stay on the stage, please, guys. I'd really like you to stay. Obviously, I just reiterate what Tony and Bill said, and MJ and Chris. Rugby Touch at JIS is very much a family, and so a massive thank you to the parents for your contributions. They really are immense. Very much our results do depend on your support. As with all families, it really hurts when we lose someone that we love and that we've grown up with us. And 2 years ago, Jamie Wellington was sat with us in this room. He died in the Bali bombing, and it's hard to believe that it's just 2 years. It's just mind-boggling. So if we break down, we apologise, but he meant a lot to us. We created an award in his memory, and don't stand behind me, please, because you'll be able to see it. We created an award in his memory. I'm going to read the citation. This is in memory of Jamie Wellington, our rugby coach, who was lost in the Bali bombing in October 2002. The award is given annually to a rugby player or touch player at JIS who best displays the attributes which you first so fondly remember. The citation reads, "The player has displayed exemplary character on and off the field. The person brings both passion and enthusiasm. They're always positive and optimistic, even when faced with adverse situations. Through their relationships with their fellow team members, they display empathy, including actions such as kindness, friendship, patience, sensitivity and caring for others. We thought long and hard. We vote, the coaches vote. There's 4 coaches and myself. We thought we might give it to the touch rugby girls because they're such young, enthusiastic athletes, and Jamie would be very proud. He loved touch, and he would really appreciate the youth in our touch team. We also looked at our JV rugby program, particularly the seniors, exemplifying his standards and the type of guy that he was. He was the JV coach. He lived and died, ironically, for rugby. But in the end, we decided to give it to a young man who epitomises Jamie. He works hard to get better. He has no ego, just a massive heart. These are the things that Jamie said about him when he was in JV. Every game he asks not how well he does, but how do I get better? His coach described him tonight as a brilliant team player. A great person to receive the Jamie Wellington Award, Mr. Curtis Borman.
Kind of surprising, but I just hope that did Mr. Wellington's memory proud. Thanks.
Well done, guys.